Okay guys, this is 1.5. We're going to be using those words that we can translate into algebra, and we're going to be using them to solve age word problems. So let's look at our steps. We always want to read the problem first, then we'll highlight and underline anything that's important. We will define our variables. Then we're going to reread and make an equation and, of course, solve that equation. So let's just practice a couple examples. So number 1 says, Juan and Jose are brothers. Juan is 5 years older than Jose. Their combined age is 43. So I think the important information here is going to be that Juan is 5 years older than Jose. And their combined, meaning we're going to add, age is, meaning it's equal to 43. So once we've found that important information, we're going to define our variables. So that just means we're going to assign a letter to each person. Since Juan and Jose both start with J, I'm going to use X and Y. And now we need to write our equation. So it says Juan is 5 years older than Jose. Well, Juan, we are representing Juan with the letter X. So we're going to write Juan X is, meaning equal to, 5 years older than Jose. So that's going to be 5 plus Jose, our man Jose, who's Y. So there's one equation. The next equation is going to say their combined age is 43. Combined tells us that we're going to add Juan and Jose together. So X plus Y is, meaning equal to, 43. All right, so now we have two equations. But one of them, or both of them, have two variables in them. So we can't solve until we get down to one variable. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to say, all right, well, X is equal to 5 plus Y. All right, so if X is the same thing as 5 plus Y, we're going to plug that 5 plus Y in where we see an X. Okay, because X and 5 plus Y are the same thing. So wherever I see an X in the second equation, I'm going to plug in that equality. So I've got, now I'm going to put that 5 plus Y there, and I've got 5 plus Y equals 43. Right? Now we have the same variable all the way through the equation, and we can combine like terms and solve. So if I combine my Y's, I've got 5 plus 2Y equals 43. Then I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides to solve. And we get 2Y equals 38. And then we are going to divide 38 by 2. We're going to divide by 2 on both sides. And we're going to get Y equals 19. So that tells us that Jose is 19 years old. But we're not done. We need to know Juan's age. So guess what? We're going to go plug in Y. So since we know that Y is 19, we can go plug that into either of our other equations to solve. So I'm going to pick the top one because we haven't used it yet. But it really does not matter. I'm going to use a different color so we can see. So I'm going to have this equation, I'm going to write it down in the corner. It's going to say X equals 5 plus Y. And now I know that Y equals 19, so I'm going to erase that Y and I'm going to put 19 in there. Okay, and so now we're going to add it together. X equals 5 plus 19, so X is going to be 24. So Juan is 24 years old. All right, so there's one. Let's keep practicing. So number 2, I'm going to go back to green. It says Ruby's mother is 2 years more than 3 times as old as Ruby. So I'm going to think that 2 years more than 3 times, those are some math words. Those are going to be important. And their combined age is 42. So that means we're going to add them and they're going to equal 42. And it says, how old is Ruby's mother and how old is Ruby? So I'm going to go ahead and pick some variables here. I'm going to call Ruby, it's going to be R. Ruby's mom, let's call her M. If that makes sense, right? So let's go ahead and write some equations. Ruby's mother, so it says her mother is, so we're saying mother is M, and then is means equal, 2 years more, so we're going to add 2 to whatever this is, then 3 times as old as Ruby. So we're going to multiply 3 times Ruby. So our equation is M equals 2 plus 3R. Then we also know their combined age is 42. So R plus M equals 42. All right, and we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to say, all right, we know that M is equal to 2 plus 3R. So we can plug 2 plus 3R in for M. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say R plus 2 plus 3R, which we got right here because we know that's equal to M, equals 42. Then we can combine our like terms and we get 4R plus 2 equals 42. And we'll just solve that equation. And we're going to get R equals 10. So Ruby's 10 years old. We still have to figure out how old her mom is, though. So we're going to take that R equals 10, and we're going to plug it right into R right there. So we've got 10 plus mom's age equals 42. And then we're just going to get M by itself by subtracting. And M equals 32. So Ruby's mom is 32 years old. All right, so there's our answers to that one. Let's look at number 3. So we've got more variables here. That's okay, don't freak out. Number 3 says Chad's brother is 7 years older than Chad. So 7 years older, that's a math word. We're going to add 7. His mother is 4 less than 3 times Chad's age. So that's important. All of their combined ages are 63. So that means we're going to add them all up. They're going to equal 63. So I've gone ahead and written out all of our characters here. We've got Chad, we've got Chad's brother, and Chad's mom. We're going to define those variables. So Chad can be a C, brother can be a B, mom can be an M. And let's write those equations. So we've got Chad's brother is 7 years older than Chad. So brother, right, so it says brother is equal to 7 years older than Chad, so 7 plus Chad. His mother, so mother, is 4 less than, remember less than is a turnaround term, or turnaround word, so we're going to say 3 times Chad's age minus 4. We had to turn that order around because it's less than is a turnaround. All of their combined ages are 63, so we've got C plus B plus M equals 63. All right, so let's take a look at those equations right here, and we've got to figure out a way to plug them all into where we have the same variables. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, let's plug them all in. So we have B equals 7 plus C, and we have M equals 3C minus 4. So let's see if we can't plug those into our big equation here at the bottom. So I've got C plus B plus M equals 63. And we're just going to leave C, but we're going to substitute 7C in for B. So instead of B, we're going to write 7 plus C. Okay, and instead of M, we're going to write what's equal to M, which is positive 3C minus 4. And that's still all equal to 63. Then we can combine our like terms. So we've got 3C, C, and C. So that's going to give us 5C. We've got our constants are 7 and negative 4. So that's going to give us positive 3. And from there, we're just solving a two-step equation. So 5C equals 60. And then we're going to divide on both sides. And we learn that Chad is 12 years old. Okay, but we're not done. We've got to figure out brother and mom's age. So we're going to go plug back in. So I'm going to use my equation up here for brother, and it says b equals 7 plus c. So I'm going to say b equals 7 plus c, and I'm going to plug a 12 in for c, because we know that c is equal to 12. That was a beautiful box, wasn't it? All right, so we know that brother is going to be 19 years old. Okay, then we're going to come up here and we're going to use mom's equation. Okay, so mom's equation is 3c minus 4. So m equals 3c minus 4. But we know that c is equal to 12. So we're going to write 3 times 12 minus 4. 3 times 12 is 36. So we end up with m equals 36 minus 4, which gives us mom's age of 32. So mom is 32. It's all about writing the equations and then getting it down to one variable. All right, number 4, we've got 4 characters in this one, so pay close attention. It says Kenneth is 8 years older than Andrew. So 8 years older, that's a math term. We're going to add 8. Billy is 3 times as old as Andrew. So that means we're going to multiply by 3. Cameron is 5 years younger than Andrew, so we got some subtraction. And the combined age of the 4 is 63. So we're going to add them all up, and it's going to equal 63. So now we've read it, we've underlined, we need to define our variables. So let's call Kenneth K, Billy B, Andrew A, and Cameron can be C. So let's write our equations. I'm going to come down a little bit so we have some space. So Kenneth is 8 years older than Andrew. So let's see, Kenneth, we're going to write Kenneth because K is equal to Kenneth. So Kenneth is equal 8 years older than Andrew. So we're going to do 8 plus whatever Andrew is. All right. The next one, Billy is 3 times. So Billy is, B equals 3 times as old as Andrew. So 3 times Andrew. Cameron is, you guys seeing a pattern? Cameron is, so we're going to say C equals 5 years younger than Andrew. So Cameron is Andrew minus 5. So that's another type of turnaround phrase. So younger than means we're going to subtract from. And then our last one combines them all. So we've got K plus B plus A plus C is 63. All right. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to plug in what we know. So I know that K is equal to 8 plus 3. 8 plus A. I know that B is equal to 3A. I know that C is equal to A minus 5. So I'm going to plug those in. So 8 plus A plus our B, which is the same thing as 3A, plus A, plus our C, which is A minus 5, is all equal to 63. Then we can combine like terms. So we've got an A, a 3A, an A, and an A. So that's going to give us 3, 4, 5, 6A. Our constants are 8 and negative 5, so that's a positive 3, equals 63. We're going to subtract 3 on both sides, and 6A is going to equal 60. We'll divide by 6, and A equals 10. All right, so I know that Andrew is 10 years old. Now we just need to plug back into our other equations to solve. So let's put 10 in for A everywhere we see it. I'm going to go up here and do that actually. So I'm going to say A is 10. So A is 10. And then we also need to find Cameron's age. So we'll put a 10 right in there. And let's solve these equations. So Kenneth is going to be 8 plus Andrew's age, which is 10. So it's going to be 18. Kenneth is 18. Billy is going to be 3 times Andrew's age. So we're going to do 3 times 10, which is 30. Billy is 30. And then Cameron is 5 years younger, and Andrew is 10. So we're going to do 10 minus 5, which is 5. and Cameron's 5 years old. All right, these are tricky, so make sure you're paying attention to those words, writing it just as you see it, and keeping track of your variables.